Act, these Americans were along the Atlantic coast. That's what this blue box over here on the ground is going to signify, Braden. Pretty soon we only had more and more immigrants coming to the area. If I call your name, will you please come to America from a different country? Takai, Aiden, Paris, Perry, Romalis, come to America. We're in America now. You can't be. You're in the ocean, kid. You're in America. And then another wave of immigrants started coming, like Michaela and Denasia, people from Ireland, people from, especially a lot of these European countries, people from Spain, people from France. Elijah, more and more people are coming to the. See, it's over there. It's kind of that red color. Oh, I'm sorry. And everyone's doing their. Be careful not to hurt me. Everyone's doing their work. They're going to their jobs. They're doing their factory work. They're doing their factory work. They're doing their factory work. They're eating their breakfast. Marquez, Deshire, Jeremy. More immigrants are coming. Oh, more and more immigrants are coming. Oh, more and more immigrants are coming. If you're touching the blue line, you are out in the ocean. Zoom in on this first source. It says source 1, excerpt, Jeremy, from the Homestead Act. Begin reading at voice level 0. Still waiting on 2 people to put their eyes on their own paper. Okay, bring it back to me. In 3, 2, 1. Someone say, "Oh boy." Oh boy. I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but I looked at this text, and this text looks pretty complicated. This is text that was written by adults, college-educated adults that were writing about our government, about a law. An act, if you remember, is a law. And so this is much harder than 4th grade work. But I'm going to show you some strategies when you see stuff like this, and you will see stuff like this in your near-testing future, of how you can break it down into simple ideas. And even though this looks super complicated, we're going to figure it out. Please take a look at your text. Please take a look at your text. I want you to kind of whisper to it, "I'm not scared of you. You may have some big words and some phrases I don't understand. But I'm going to figure you out." So I'm going to teach you some strategies on how to figure out some of this really complicated work. This is going to take us a few minutes to do. So I need your complete attention. So to those 3 people that I see that are kind of daydreaming, this is a time that you need to get your laser focus out. Source 1, excerpt from the Homestead Act. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a lot of notes about things I know that are familiar. I'll show you up on the board. So first it says an excerpt from the Homestead Act. Well, let me take a look at that word. Homestead. Home. What does home mean? I'll take silent hands. Jeremy? What can I write? Home. What's home mean? Where you live. Where people live. I'm just going to fill my page up with buku notes that are going to make this very digestible. So when I look at it again, I'll be able to at least try to understand a little bit what it's about. Homestead. Now I gave you a hint earlier what this word was. Act, like as in the Civil Rights Act, as in the Voting Act, as in an act. What's an act? Not like a play. This has to do with our government. Any guesses what an act is? Don't see any hands. Oh, there's 7 hands. Go ahead, Nairobi.
Okay.
I'm going to help you out because it's been a while since we talked about what this means, but an act is like a law. Clear your voice. Okay. Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives. Oh wait, I'm thinking to myself, I know what. There's a branch that the House and, don't tell me, see if you can write it in. House of Reps, they're in the blank branch. I'm going to leave it blank so you can't see it. Okay. Be it enacted. Enacted is like started. I'm thinking to myself, it starts with the class grade. Tell me which branch that is in 3, 2, 1.
Legislative.
Ooh, you know that really well. Legislative branch. Okay, that the United States in America in Congress assembled to assemble something. I'm assembling my Legos. I'm assembling the parts of my furniture from IKEA. To assemble. What's assemble mean? Let's see, 2 hands here, no hands there, 1 hand there. Yes, Albert, what's a symbol?
To build something?
Yeah, great. To assemble. So Congress is going to make something, build something. Okay? That any person who is the head of a family, who's the head of your family? Whisper to someone next to you. For me, it's my mom. So your parents, maybe your grandma, or aunt or uncle or someone. Okay? The head of a family. Parents? Bring it back to your laser focus here. Who is the head of a family? I wrote parents or aunt or guardian or something. Okay. Or who have arrived at the age of 21. Oh, 21. And is a citizen of the United States. So let me try and put this all together. This is saying that this is a law about where to live, about making a home. It's for settlers in the West. And it's saying that it was started in the House and the Representatives and the Senate, started in Congress, the legislative branch. It was put together by Congress. It's for someone who's the head of the household. And you have to be a citizen. You have to be how many years old, class?
21.
Okay, so I'm not sure what this law does yet. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I kind of am getting a little glimpse. And this is hard stuff. You have to be a certain age. You have to be the head of a household. You have to be a citizen of the U.S. to get this law benefit you. Or you have intentions to become. Someone that intends to become. What do you call those people that come from another country that intend to become a citizen? Tell someone next to you. Yeah, from Alice? Immigrants. And required by naturalization. Naturalization, can you leave your hair alone? What is naturalization? Remember that in our civics unit? Not natural born citizen, but what's a naturalized citizen? Naturalized citizen. I don't have enough people to do a classroom discussion. Track Lewis.
Track Lewis. A naturalized citizen is like a citizen that wasn't from the country.
Right. So it's going to become a citizen. Naturalized. What note can I write there? Well, I start with the word naturalized. I'm going to let you write your own annotation for that. Someone who is not a citizen but wants to become.